Hi everybody, it's Lyn from Lyn's Crafts. I'm coming by again to try and share the tutorial on how I did this colored pencil transfer onto polymer clay. I've done a bunch of these, but I've never had so much trouble filming a video in my life. My camera is going crazy. So I've decided to skip the color mixing of the polymer clay. So this is some Primo Accents Pearl with a little bit of Color Art Teal Zircon primary elements and some of the Sailboat Blue alcohol ink on the pearl. The colored layer of clay is some really crappy, crumbly souffle clay. I don't even know the color. I really don't like it. And some of the white glitter Primo Accents. On the other side is some Primo Accents translucent. This is not the white translucent. This is just the regular. And a little bit of light blue glitter. I don't know the brand. I didn't keep the brand. I didn't keep the label. Okay? So, I'm going to roll this through my pasta machine. None of it has been conditioned other than the souffle, which I worked doggedly just to get it to hold together this much. This stuff was literally so dry when I put it together with the white glitter, I couldn't even get the layers to hold together when I ran it through the pasta machine. Okay, so I'm going to run it through again, then I'll be back. Okay, it's literally just flaking apart as I try to work with it. But it will hold together once it gets incorporated with the pearl and the translucent. So, I just ran it through the one time. I don't want to mess up the layers. This is the translucent, this is the pearl. It's got the blue crappy color in between. Okay, so I'm going to roll / fold it because it's not gonna roll for me. And yeah, it's probably gonna crack and keep your fingers crossed, everybody. Oh, okay, there, that's better. Okay. Now I'm just going to squeeze it together to try to get it to stick together. You're trying to work out any air bubbles that could be trapped in the layers, and it probably is. Okay, then I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise, again squeezing it together, and I'm going to try to pinch the edges together a bit. Best I can. Okay. Now I'm going to squeeze it again a bit more. This time I'm just trying to even out the thickness a bit. It's a bit thicker on this end. Okay, and if I've done my job correctly, I'm going to give it a bit of a roll. If it has too many air bubbles trapped in the roll, when you try to roll it, the roll will split and crack. Ha! Okay, now I'm going to fold it again. Squeeze the edges together again. Flatten it out a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm just going to twist it. You can already start to see the glitter coming through. Don't worry about it cracking. It does matter in other techniques, but it won't matter in this one. Okay, now I'm just going to flatten it out. It looks like a caterpillar right now. Still got blue stuck to the roller. Okay, that did take a bit of work, but you can see the really pretty pattern we've got going on in the clay sheet. I'm going to run this through this way with the stripes. Okay, so we've got a really pretty sheet of clay. Alright, I'm going to gather my tools and I'll be right back. Okay, I feel like I've said this 20 times already. This is a set of Prismacolors that I bought at a yard sale a few years back for $4. Set of 60. I was running out of that yard sale as fast as my legs would carry me. I'm going to pick some blue colors. Surprise, surprise. Let me see. Alright, and a white and a black. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is to just cut me a square to work on. Just random sized. I'm not sure what design I'm going to try to do this time. Okay, I'm going to start with the darker of the clays. Of the colored pencils. This is an ultramarine blue, and before I get started I'm going to actually sharpen these two. Okay, now I promised some tips on how to draw a face when you can't draw a face or how to do one of these pendants when you can't draw a face. First of all, you don't have to use the whole face. You can just use half of the face. You can actually just draw half the face. Okay? So this time I'm going to draw just the eyes. So I'm going to start with the eyebrows. And I'm sorry, I should share another tip real quick. Whatever hand you are, start on the opposite side. If you're right-handed, draw the left-hand side first. It's easier for your right side of your brain, or left side, whichever that is, I'm not ever sure. It's easier to copy with your correct hand. if that makes any sense. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on the left side. Okay, just a simple eye shape. Okay, I'll go ahead and draw the rest of the face just for the sake of the tutorial. Also remember, however you draw the image, it will be reversed when you transfer it. So if you want the nose line to be on the right, draw it on the left. Okay, something like that. Now she needs a little shape to her face. Okay. Just want to give her some little bit of bouncy curls. The hair is mainly to just fill out the rest of the image. It won't really show very much in the transfer because the background will take over. The background will kind of overpower your eye so that you only see the part your eye recognizes immediately, which will be the eye mainly and a little bit of the lips. So the hair will add detail to after we bake it. After we bake it and add some resin. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to continue with this darker color. Just give her a little shadow behind her hair. I'm not trying to be neat, not trying to have perfect lines or anything. Just a scribbling is fine. Okay, now I'm going to switch to... Ooh. It's a blue-violet. I'm not really sure that's what I want. So I'm going to go with the Copenhagen blue. Okay. Which, weirdly enough, is a little more of a Prussian blue in my opinion. Okay, again, I don't know why I'm going on with all of this, because I'm not going to transfer all of it. Okay. Now we're just going to give her some pupils to her eye. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the black just around her eyes. Give her a few eyelashes. Okay, just something like that. I really should have gotten out a lighter blue just to give her face a little color. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to get back out the clay sheet. And oh my gosh, I could scream right now. My camera quit after I had finished transferring the image and everything. So you're going to cut the shape out of your clay sheet, the shape you want the pendant to be. Then you're going to lay the clay down on your sheet where you want it to transfer. Okay? Then you're going to burnish it down, first with your hand, then with the roller, lightly. You don't want to mash the clay. Then you're going to use the heat tool, and I'm actually going to do it and show you just how long you want to use the heat gun. You can do this in the oven, but it's really tricky. You have to preheat the oven and then just throw the piece in there for a minute or two. Then bring it out, burnish it again, then throw it back in, bring it out, burnish it again. The heat tool is much easier. So literally, just about that long. Then you're going to burnish it again, because what you're trying to do is to melt the wax. The melted wax will help to transfer the pencil, the pigment in the pencil. Okay, after you burnish it, then you're going to heat it again, keeping the heat tool moving all the time for about the same length of time, then burnish it again. Then when you lift it up, this is what you'll have. Okay? You can see where the clay was on the image so that it transferred some of that pencil onto the clay. So I'm going to bake it, and then after I bake it, I'll come back with the black pencil and fill in the areas that didn't transfer quite so well, like the pupil of her eye. I'll go ahead and detail out the eyes themselves and a little bit the shape of her face and stuff like that. After I transfer the image, then I put it on a backing sheet that I had rolled out. Oh lordy, I was determined to get this video right this time, and I'm so sorry. I just can't believe my camera is giving me such fits. I'm going to put on one of these glue-on teardrop veils. with a little bit of Bacon Bond liquid clay. I mean, really, what's the point of doing a tutorial if you can't show the part you were trying to show? Camera. Okay, then I'm just going to take a scrap of this backing. And cut out a teardrop shape. Something sort of like a teardrop shape. Nothing like running your whole day. Okay? So, really, the teardrop shape on the back is just to sandwich the bail between two layers of clay, so you're not just depending on the Bacon Bond to hold it in place. Alright, so you want to make sure it's centered and all that kind of stuff. Then I'm just going to use my texture stamp that I created in another video. It's really probably not as large as I'd like, but okay. Now, I'm going to bake the piece, 275 for an hour. I have an oven thermometer in my oven. You want to always check your oven temperature. Toaster ovens can be very off. Mine was off almost 50 degrees when I bought it. So, that's how important an oven thermometer is. Cake, you can bake a cake at the wrong temperature. You just got to leave it in there long enough for it to bake. That doesn't work with polymer clay. It needs the correct temperature to let the plasticizers bond within the clay. So, I'm going to bake this and be back.